The Independent Communications Authority of South Africa, ICASA, has received over 50 written submissions from interested domestic and international players on the proposed new licensing framework for satellite services. The regulator will spend the coming 3 days listening to oral submissions from the industry. At the heart of the matter is the Black Economic Empowerment Regulation that stipulates a 30% BEE requirement for the licensing processes for a satellite internet service. The hearing chairperson Tabi Safai says they will look at all the considerations.
This is a 4B ICASA Act inquiry, and so what we are doing is following up on the written submissions that we have received, and this is an opportunity for those who are participating in this public engagement to provide a synopsis or the salient points to the written submissions, and then for us to be able to ask them questions, probing questions, questions of clarity on the process that we are working on. This is a very important process for us. Like you said, it is a question of transformation, it is a question of opening up the sector, but it's also ensuring a level playing field and ensuring that there is equal participation for all.
Local mobile network operators through their lobby group ACT told the hearing that there's a need for fairness in the licensing regime to achieve a holistic transformation of the sector. The Association of Comms and Technology, ACT's Pilar Sithole, says they represent major local telecommunications network operators including MTN, Cell C and Telkom, who are worried about the proposed review process.
If you review in a piecemeal format, you are actually giving advantage to other services that are actually competing with terrestrial services. We welcome that there is a thinking of reviewing, but however, with the process of the approach, that's what we are not agreeing to, because it might tilt the market and give others an advantage over the other. While if you're looking at the holistic review, looking all use of spectrum, especially for commercial basis. If you want to reduce the fees, reduce for all of them.
One of the longest licensed satellite technology users in the country, MultiChoice, also made submissions to the hearing, calling for the satellite review process to be aligned to existing licensing in the country and regulatory frameworks. MultiChoice says it's unclear how a new licensing framework would affect satellites already in orbit and in use, making a submission that any new framework should not apply to satellites that have already been launched.
Chair, our ask is very simple, Chair, and it's straightforward. First, I think Bevan summed it up nicely. Leave us out of it. We think the current framework for FSS and BSS works quite well. And any framework that the authority contemplates should not include those services. That's our ask. Please, can we be left out?
The process is carried out under the ICASA Act. The regulator says the current oral submissions will mark the last part of the public consultations before moving into the analysis phase for consideration of all the submissions made into the hearings. The country's digital economy coming under the spotlight, with day one of the public hearings wrapping up with mixed views on how the country should approach the proposed new licensing framework for satellite services, with organizations Amazon, Telemedia and Anglo-American expected to make submissions on day two. Katlego Logodi, SABC News in Centurion.